In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can create a co-branded landing page that you can attach to emails and other marketing material that you're creating for your partners. Now, there are two different types of content that you can load in for a landing page. The first version is the quickest method, and that is straight HTML. So you'll have your designers or your internal resources build the page in HTML, and then you'll copy that HTML and paste it into our platform, or you can use our point-and-click editor. The nice thing about the point-and-click editor is it allows you to dictate to your partners what they can and can't edit, what images they can or cannot upload. It also helps to control and keep the integrity of the design of the landing page that you've created. In this tutorial, I'll go over both options, both the HTML and the point-and-click versions. I'll start with HTML. To begin, you want to be within the Content Manager portion of the platform. You can always access different scopes through this drop-down box in the upper right-hand corner. And then from there, you want to be underneath the Tactics tab and then underneath Forms. To create the actual landing page, we want to click the New Form button, and that will load a page, and it will give us a few options here. We need to choose how we would like to create this landing page. Do you want to copy it from a previous form? Do we want to choose a point-and-click template? Or do we want to create a new form from scratch? So again, in this instance, I have my HTML, so I just want to load an HTML landing page. I'll go ahead and click my new content because I'll create it from scratch, and then it'll bring us to the options screen, and we'll need to provide it a name and a description. Let's go ahead and provide the form a name. So I'll name this Capture Their Imagination with Color. The campaign is around color copiers. This is a landing page for them to fill out information to learn more about a specific model. So I'll name it Capture Their Imagination with Color. Now this is partner facing, so remember, maybe the partner wants to go into the library and they're not really interested with the email. Maybe they just want to use the landing page. So you could just put the landing page in there for them to pick and choose. So that's why the name and the description is important, because this will be partner facing. This is what they'll see within the library. And now I'll enter my description. Again, this could technically be partner facing, so you want to be as detailed as possible here. So if they look at this landing page in the library, they'll know what it's about. Choose who it's assigned to. Currently it's assigned to me. If you want to go ahead and create this landing page and have one of your designers build it, you would just simply select their name from the drop down box. This will actually send an email notifying them that a landing page has been assigned to them for creation. You want to enter your campaign tracking variable, so the campaign name should tie into what the verbiage and what this messaging is about. So it is about copiers or color copiers, so I'll just go through and I'll select this one to high-speed color copiers. Your source, this is where your partners would get their list from, or how they would put this data in their system. Most of the time you'll set this to in-house list. However, if this is a promoted campaign driven around maybe a list that's been purchased for them from maybe like a site like Jigsaw, you can choose Jigsaw from the source drop-down. Your creative, so if you have an agency that you brought on board, you can choose who it was, or maybe it's based off a postcard or some type of poster and it's an online version. You just want to enter the creative link there. Down at the bottom you can see there's a couple additional options. The first option here, it asks if you'd like to make this message available for pulling from the library. This is asking you if you would like to put it in your library or not. So this means that it's in the library and your partners can pick this landing page and download it and use it maybe in a campaign that they're executing in their own platform, or maybe they're running some type of Google SEM campaign and they would like to use this landing page for. You want to keep this set to no for right now, just because we have nothing built. So if we put it in the library and someone happened to download it, there'd be nothing in there. And then below it you'll have your advanced options, and these vary based on the program. You can create as many as you like. In this situation, it's just asking me what language is this campaign in. Obviously I'm going to be building this in English. And I'll just check English off. From here, just click the Save button and this will begin creating the landing page for you. This will load and bring you to the form builder. The first thing you want to do is get the fields that you would like on the form. You can see here I have a little preview of the types of fields that will be available on the form. I have first name, last name, and email address. Now I usually recommend keeping the form as short as possible. You may want to add company name, address, things of that nature to the form. But the more fields you add here, the less likely it is someone will fill it out. So to go ahead and add your fields, you want to click this Add a Field button up at the top of the page, and then you'll have a couple options. To add a contact field, and these are standard fields: company name, first name, last name, city, state, postal, country, things of that nature. Choose contact fields. and then you'll just simply check off the options here. If you need to provide a translation to any of these fields, you just simply go to this rename column and you can rename it here on the right. Go through these options, check off what you would like. You can see there's also a required column here. And from there, click Save. That'll bring us back to the form builder, and you can see it's added these fields to the form. If you'd like to sort these fields, it's just a simple drag and drop procedure. So if I want to bring my email address all the way up at the top, I can go ahead and do that. If you would like to remove a field, it's just simply clicking the X next to its name. So let's just say I want to get rid of address. I click that X and you can see it automatically removes that field. Now in some instances you may need to create your own customized fields, so I'll show you how to do that. So we'll click the Add a Field option, and instead of choosing the Contact Field option, we'll choose this Form Fields option, so last option here. And then it'll give us a list of the different types of selections we can choose. So you have options for your single selection, you have options for multiple selection, you have date fields, string fields, files they can upload, ratings, almost any type of field you can imagine you can create here. For this example, I'm just going to choose single selection through a drop-down box, which is the first one, and now I need to give it a field name. In this field, I'll just simply ask them what type of device are you interested in, and then I need to determine if this field is required or not, meaning they have to fill it out or it's optional. And then below in these fields, I just provide the available options, so I'll just say color or black and white. I click Save, and that will create that customized field. As you can see, it's a drop-down option, and they can choose color or black and white. Now that we have our fields added to the form, we need to go ahead and add our content. You can see it's pretty basic at this point. So to actually add the content, the first thing I'm going to do is grab my HTML. And as you can see here, I have my HTML in my notepad file. This was provided to me from one of my designers. And I'll just highlight everything that's in this file and just simply copy it. I'll minimize my notepad file. And as you can see, when I move my mouse within this white space where this text is, need more information, you have a blue box that goes around the entire border. If you click when that blue box appears, it will then load the WYSIWYG for you. And this is our standard content editor. Technically, you can build the email with our WYSIWYG if you'd like, but again, in this case, I do have the HTML. And let's just go ahead and take a look at the content that's inside the WYSIWYG. And you can see there's need more information, that text that we saw. But notice there's this merge field here, form fields. This actually outputs the form fields that you built earlier in the tutorial. So we want to make sure that whatever content we drop in place, if it doesn't include the form fields merge field, we at least add it back into the actual content. And it is case sensitive, so you want to make sure it's capital F for form and capital F for fields. So now that I've already copied my HTML, I'm just going to paste it in here. So I'll click the source button on the right hand side of the editor, and that toggles the HTML view, and then I'll just remove everything here and paste my HTML. If I just scroll back up to the top and click the source button one more time, you can see it's now outputted the HTML for my landing page. And if we take a look, you'll notice that my form fields merge field's there because I had it within the HTML. There is one last thing we need to do. We need to go ahead and place the co-branded merge fields throughout our market assets. So when the partner picks an email that's attached to this landing page, or they just pick this landing page in general, it merges in their information, meaning their company logo, their phone number, things of that nature. So I already know the market assets I need to use. So for my company logo, it's market asset 705. And I want to place the partner phone number on this right-hand side, and that's market asset 221. Now obviously you'll want to go through this entire landing page and plug in those market assets fields. So anywhere that the company information needs to be, you want to enter in those market assets. Once you're finished, you just want to click the save and close button or the save button up at the top or the bottom of the page. Now that we've gone ahead and built the content for the landing page, we need now to create our confirmation page. This is the page that's displayed after a prospect or a customer goes to the form and fills it out. So it can be slightly different. Most of the time it's the same exact content that is on the actual landing page itself. You just replace the form fields merge field with a thank you message. In some instances you may want to put a downloadable white paper or a brochure or something, so it's gated. So to go ahead and build your confirmation page, we'll go to this confirmation page option here. So I'll go ahead and click on it. And basically, to go through the whole process of building a landing page, you just want to follow these tabs left to right. That will always take you on the right process. And as you can see here on the confirmation page section, we have the WYSIWYG. By default, we just give you some default content here. Thank you for signing up on the registration page. Again, I have my HTML that my design team created. It's actually the same content that was on the front end for the landing page itself. I'll click the source button. I will then replace all that default content with my HTML. And I'll just scroll back up to the top of the page here and click this source button one more time. And you can see it outputted it. In this case, I actually just took what was on the landing page so you can see my market assets are in place. And now what I want to do is I want to go to that form fields merge field, and I just want to replace some of this text over here. So maybe instead of having the form, we'll just say thank you for registering. And maybe I don't want the call to action here for calling, and then I can make it bold and maybe a little bit larger. I'll just use my WYSIWYG to do that. And I'll go back down and click save. And now at this point, when they fill out the form, they'll get this thank you for registering message instead of the actual form fields. Now that we have our confirmation page set up, the next step here is to decide if we would like a confirmation email. After the client fills this out, you can decide if you'd like to send them back an email just thanking them for registering on the page. So you have the ability to turn this on or off. I'm going to leave it off, but you can see you can enter a subject here, and then you can use the WYSIWYG down here to customize this any way you like. Again, if you make any changes on this page, just scroll down to the bottom and click the Save button to process your changes. From here, we'll move on to our advanced options. So I'll click on that option here. And I'm just going to go through a few options on this page that are pretty important. If we scroll down, some of the fields here that are important to you is if you'd like to encrypt the form using SSL, you can do that. You would just want to select it to yes. And then definitely one of the options here is depending on how you build the form, you may want to push the form fields from to the right of the field name to below it. In this case I do, so I just want to set it below. And you can see you can actually customize the page title for the form. Any changes on the advanced options screen, just click the Save button, and that will save your changes. And the last option here with creating our landing page is our page header. This is where you can actually change and add a description for the page. You can change the page menu, you can change the page title, you can do some SEO if you'd like, and then the actual page URL. It takes the page name by default, but you can go ahead and update that. One important thing about this page URL, you want to set this before you actually link it on your email or any type of marketing collateral, just because if you set it after, you then would have to relink your email, so there's a chance that the link will break if you update this. So I typically recommend leaving it as is, but you do have the options to update the page URL. Any changes again on this page, just click the Save button, and at this point your landing page has been fully created. Now if you want to take a look at how this landing page will look on the web, you'll just click this link here up at the top of the page. This is a direct link to the landing page. Notice it won't be co-branded as it needs to be pulled into a partner's account to do so, but this gives you a nice accurate preview as to how it will look. You want to make sure that everything lines up properly, that your fields are there. Notice the fields that I entered, that customized field is there with color in black and white. Once you determine that this form looks proper, you can go ahead and put it in the library. If we'd like to put this landing page in the library for the partner, we just want to go back to our settings tab here. That's where we were when we first created the form. And you can see we can actually update these values if we needed to. We want to scroll down to the bottom, and you can see here, would you like to make this message available for pulling to the managed library? You want to set that to yes. Now I do want to make it clear here, you actually do not need to put it in the library if you just want to link to it from an email. So if it's kind of like a package deal where you want the partner to have the email and the landing page, you don't need to put it in the library. If you just want to make the landing page available in the library for the partner to choose from, maybe they don't want the email, you can put it in the library. So that's optional here. You need to decide how you'd like to handle that. Just choose yes, and then of course if you have multiple programs you can share it. At this point you want to scroll to the bottom and click Save, and now this landing page is available for the partner in their library. So now that I've gone ahead and showed you how to create a landing page through the HTML version, we'll now go ahead and create one with the point-and-click editor. Now again, this does not show you how to build the actual source template of the point-and-click editor. It's actually using one that's already been created and building based off it. So to begin, we want to go back to our main tactics page. So I'll click this tactics option. This returns us back to our forms page, and as you can see, the form that we just built is there. So to go ahead and utilize the point-and-click editor, I want to use one of the templates that I already have available. So I know that's underneath my demo folder here. So I'll click on demo. And then underneath demo, you'll see I have two forms here. I actually want to use the template that I have available for this structured web demo LP split landing page. So what I'll do here is, instead of using this one exactly, I'll put a check in the box next to it. You can see some options are available, and I can actually create a copy of this form. So I'll click the copy button, and then it'll ask me if I'd like to assign it to someone, and then which folder I would like to place it underneath. Choose your options here, and then click the save button, and that will begin the copy process. Once it's finished copying, it creates an exact copy of the landing page for me. The one it makes a copy of is always located up at the top, and if I click on the name, you can see I have the content available. It's created an exact replication of this landing page for me. So the nice thing is, creating the actual form is exactly the same. The process that we went through for the HTML version is exactly the same for this version. The only difference here is the editing options for the point and click. So to add fields, it's the same method. To add your field to the form, you'll choose the add a field button, and then you can see you have the same exact options here as we saw in the HTML version. So I'm not going to go ahead and add fields just to save some time. But to edit the actual content, notice there's no WYSIWYG here, so I can't click in here and edit any content of this particular form. So to edit the content, you want to click the Edit the Content button, and then this will load the point-and-click editor. So you can see here, any of these serrated boxes, I can go ahead and change this content. So these templates are fantastic for replication. So I can go here, and I can theoretically click this pencil icon, and I can change the text here in the banner. I can even change the image or the color if I'd like. When you make changes, just click the Save button, and that will process your changes on the template. So at this point, I would obviously want to go through all the options here and make these changes. So for example, if I want to change this header, and I just want to say, learn about our color copiers, I can go ahead and do that. So I'll enter that here. I click Save, and you can see it makes those changes. So you want to go through each option. We want to go through and customize everything that's here. Notice the form fields are already there for us, and we just need to go ahead and make our changes. And this is the only difference between the point-and-click version and the HTML version. It's using our overlay, and the partners would have the same editing options depending on how this template has been built. So you'll go ahead and make your changes here, and then you'll follow the process. You want to click the Save button after the changes you make, just to render the entire landing page for you. And then from there, you'll want to follow those tabs at the top of the page from left to right. So from your content, you want to go ahead and build your confirmation page. You then want to go ahead and set your confirmation email. You want to go to your advanced options, and then you want to go to your page header. So everything's exactly the same as to what I showed you earlier. It's just a matter of the editing options. And that's really the entire process of building a landing page from scratch. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, or need further assistance, feel free to reach out to us at service@structuredweb.com. I hope this video was helpful, and have a great day.